Hello. So today we're going to talk about basically how our introduction for our first episode is how can creativity be influencing us and how creativity has changed our life. So let me introduce one of my members today, which is Giovanni. Hi, Giovanni. How are you doing today?
Hello, Alicia. I'm so happy to have a very quick chance to actually be in a conversation with you today, and I really appreciate having just been part of this episode, and I can wait to share my thoughts with you as well. And yeah, I can wait.
So basically, I'm really excited too. I was thinking that we should really start this introduction with just introducing ourselves and practically get our viewers to know where we're coming from. So um, basically, I come from a small town in High River,
Yeah,
and I grew up here in High River pretty much my whole life. And I would say that it's a small town outside of Calgary, and most of my family had been from here too. And where exactly do you come from, Gio?
yeah. I was born actually in Atessa. It's a very tiny town in Italy, and it's 5 hours by bus from Rome. I had a chance to actually move to Canada back to 2017, so my life completely changed and turned in another direction, especially because I was actually living in a very rural area with very few people, more cows than people, I would say. And it was very exciting for me actually to get to know how my origins are still connected as well, especially here in Calgary, because the city as well really reminded me of my childhood, and that's why I think in general when we think about our childhoods, there are a lot of connections within each other, and that this is one of the reasons why I really I'm so happy to actually have a chance right now to be in this conversation with you, and I can wait for our listeners as well to be part of the of this journey as creatives, and I think that the reasons why we connected, and I will definitely turn this question to you as well. I think what really like makes us connecting, especially at the very first day that we met, was the opportunity to just share our stories and our paths. That there were like a sort of connection immediately. Just checking I remember our profiles on a dating app. Although sometimes we feel like dating apps are like so outdated and they shouldn't be used for even just connecting. But immediately I remember that I was really like just looking for an opportunity to share my story with her, and I would just connect it like in that way. So that was very quick. So I'm actually really honest. I just want to be honest about that. But I think we really connected at the first chance, and that's why I'm looking to see how you connected with me as well.
I honestly think that like sharing that experience with just being online, we feel like genuinely I feel like we know each other um, from the very beginning. We just clicked, and that like we didn't have to like overstep ourselves and just know like each other instantly. And that connection we have with art and creativity is something that I
Yeah,
feel we should share with people.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Um, that is one of our purposes for this channel today. So meeting Giovanni would be one of has been one of my inspirations. Thank you for that, Gio.
Yeah,
Um, I want to reflect on today's topic today and get started on
yeah,
sharing not only about how we've met, but
mhm,
meeting people in general and being able to express the story behind how
yeah,
creating art can change our lives.
mhm,
So I don't know if you want to start talking about
yeah,
your story, but
yeah,
you
yeah,
can go
definitely.
ahead.
Yeah, in terms of like how creativity actually changed my life. I always been interested to learn from my grandma work, because she was actually really that person that really inspired me to become more involved into my creative process. I remember that I was always drawing on like on a paper kind of set of papers, And she always was
Mm.
always asking me to like create a sort of square illustration of any kind of object that we saw in our house. And then she actually really inspired me to become more creative. But I would definitely identify my mom as the real like original inspirational person in my life, because I remember that she always had been always loving to become a fashion designer, and her passion for paintings, drawings, really put me in a place where I was really interested to learn more about her work and her, and how, for example, even her just paper art was, they were actually part of their of her ambition to become a fashion designer. So creativity in general is really resonate with my personality as a person that loves connecting with others, helping people in any kind of way, and perception of what they might been through in life in general. And I think it has, like, creativity has that power to really change the perspective on how it has a positive impact on any kind of story, especially right now where many of us are living through, you know, difficult situations, and with the current pandemic as well, with the current situation that we've been
Exactly.
through. So I think creativity has really had a positive impact on my life so far, not just because I'm working as a graphic designer, but definitely like as it's a sort of, for me personally, it's a sort of I would say technique that applies to me and helped me to become more involved into my surroundings as well, and how they've been actually affecting myself as well. So in general, I would definitely like to say that my mom and my grandma have been definitely both some meaningful figures that really impacted me and really inspired me. And that's how they even changed my life in general, because I was coming from another different school of thought, like in general, because I finished like high school shortly after. I didn't have any chances to actually build up my portfolio. So everything come up shortly after 2017 when I applied for the advertising and graphic design program, and that's how everything changed back to that year. So that I think I don't know about you, Alicia, but I feel like in general that's how creativity changed my life, and I can't wait to listen as well about your perspective about that, about this specific topic.
I specifically think that like you wouldn't be here where you are today in Calgary.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Like
true. Yeah,
your that influence of art had just shaped your life, no?
hmm, yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
it's good to see the bigger picture and see where you're coming from and how it influences us. Can you imagine Geo with life without creativity?
I think it would never, we would never like even be like right now, even having this conversation, honestly, because we always have to look at the bigger picture, especially when we think about creativity. Well, in regards to this specific thought, honestly, if I just think back to how I've been able to even just select this city specifically, and how I've been through all the steps that I need to take to come here, for example, in Canada, I think creativity really showcased to me a sort of pathway that really impressed me and really put me in a place where I feel comfortable talking about that, because it doesn't need to be like something perfect, doesn't need to be like something prepared in advance, because this is like us, you know, it's like we immediately, as you mentioned, when we met, like we immediately clicked, because there is a sort of connection, especially between artists and between creatives, and there is a sort of bridge that connect us, whatever it's related to our like instincts in creativity or our maybe style. But
I think that comes
yeah,
down to authenticity,
yeah, definitely, yeah,
on being
makes sense, yeah,
authentic.
definitely, yeah.
And that's why we want to talk about specifically that later, the three main reasons why we have this episode.
Yeah,
Stay tuned for that, guys.
yeah. You won't miss it, you won't miss it.
So, I don't know, like other than like how your story amazes me that you were in Calgary and you came all the way from Italy just to embark on this journey all by yourself, practically, with
Yeah.
just your own ambition and perseverance and perspective. Like, how would you say creativity got you through the hard times?